Donald Trump did a wild coronavirus press briefing yesterday, and instead of covering it all in one story, I'm sort of going to chop it up because there's actually so much insanity that happened at yesterday's press briefing that I don't want to just lump it all together in one segment. So we're going to start with one of the strangest moments. Donald Trump confirmed that he's really jealous of Dr. Anthony Fauci, and he doesn't like the fact that people like Dr. Fauci but don't like Trump. What's fascinating about this is we speculated months ago that the reason Dr. Fauci started being pushed to the sidelines by Donald Trump was that Trump didn't like the attention that Fauci was getting, that Trump was jealous. This was our speculation based on what we know about Donald Trump. Dr. Fauci was well liked. Dr. Fauci was seen as authoritative on the virus. Dr. Fauci was seen as trustworthy. Trump was not. And thus we started seeing less and less of Dr. Fauci. Check out this insane clip where Trump just says the thing that we all suspected. Take a look.
Everybody in the world, I have a graph that I'd love to show you. Perhaps you've seen it, where we're up here and the rest of the world is down at a level that's just a tiny fraction of what we've done in terms of testing. So it sort of is curious. A man works for us, with us very closely, Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx, also highly thought of. And yet they're highly thought of, but nobody likes me. It can only be my personality. That's all. Go ahead.
That's a president. That's a 73-year-old adult, a wealthy adult, arguably in the most powerful position of anybody on planet Earth, who is motivated by sort of playground, elementary school level nonsense. Why do people like Fauci, but they don't like me? I'm the one who has Fauci working for me. Well, Fauci's a doctor and he's trying to save lives, while Trump is just sort of not a particularly bright guy whose priority is getting himself reelected. And this 35-second clip just explains so much. This is a Trump mask off moment. He's showing us he's dead jealous of Dr. Anthony Fauci. Earlier this week, we learned, it's all coming together now. Earlier this week, we learned that when Donald Trump canceled his plan to throw out a first pitch at Yankee Stadium on August 15th, there was really no such plan. In other words, nothing had been scheduled. Trump ended up canceling it, but there was nothing scheduled. And we learned that Trump only announced this because he was jealous that Dr. Fauci was throwing out the first pitch. And when we went back and looked at the timing, Trump claimed that he was going to be throwing out a first pitch at Yankee Stadium just an hour or two before Dr. Fauci actually threw out a first pitch at Yankee Stadium. This triggered Trump's jealousy so strongly that he just made it up last week. I'm scheduled to throw out the first pitch. And now he makes it very clear. Why is it? Anthony Fauci has such a high approval. I have a low approval. People like him. People don't like me. Why is that? The complaints of like a little kid. He's just jealous. He's extremely jealous. And I don't know about you, but I don't want a president motivated by jealousy. And it comes out so strongly here. And when we look back, it's so illuminating because we have this movement in the United States that for years under Donald Trump and even before, it goes back to John Kerry, actually, in fact, the feminization of intelligent and well-spoken men in American society. The claiming, this alpha male versus beta male stuff. This has gone back a long time. And if you remember the 2004 presidential election, as many in the audience do, George W. Bush versus John Kerry, John Kerry framed as the feminized man, the less than really a man. Why? Well, because he went surfing once or windsurfing, wakeboarding, something like that, because he spoke French, because he was educated, because he was a Boston guy. And the truth was, it was actually George W. Bush who figured out a way to get out of the military, like by their own standards, which include the military service as a proxy to manliness and being a real man, so to speak. It was John Kerry who went to Vietnam, while George Bush flew a plane for a little bit and ended up bailing pretty quickly because of his privileged position. And so that was the first sign to me, and I'm sure it goes back longer than that, but that was the first race where I really saw this completely backwards. They frame the left as feminized, not real men, even though the reality is it's they who avoid the stereotypically manly things like military service. And then we saw it with Barack Obama, law professor Obama, who likes music that is less than totally masculine and all of this other stuff. And the epitome of it is really Donald Trump. I mean, this alpha male, beta male stuff has exploded during Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is the antithesis of what they claim makes a manly man. Trump figuring out ways to get himself out of military service because of his bone spurs, which many people don't really take seriously. And now, once again, is it masculine to be endlessly insecure and say, why do they like him but not me? Is it masculine to be so fragile that you're constantly having to attack others? And it doesn't show strength to me. And very, very revealing that Donald Trump really exposed what is underlying a lot of his bizarre behavior and has been for a long time. Now, that's part one of this three-part analysis of yesterday's press briefing. Then it got even weirder when Trump told a black reporter that he looks like Michael Bloomberg. Let's look at that next. One of our sponsors today is a snack brand called Just the Cheese, and they are giving our audience 20% off all of their products. Just the Cheese is a snack bar made with only one ingredient, 100% all natural Wisconsin cheese. It is crunchy. It is a baked snack created to mimic the cheese that bakes off into the pan and gets crunchy when you make a grilled cheese sandwich. It's absolutely delicious. And because every bite is just cheese, that's all it is. It's packed with calcium and protein, has virtually no carbs, no sugar, completely gluten-free. Perfect if you're looking for a low-carb snack on the go. Available in 3 varieties: aged cheddar, grilled cheese, and jalapeno, my favorite, a little bit of a kick. I love a kick. Just the Cheese is manufactured by a family-owned cheese company in the heart of Wisconsin. It's simple, tasty, crunchy, delicious. Again, it's called Just the Cheese. You can find their Amazon page by going to davidpakman.com/cheese, and you can get 20% off by using code 20Pakman at checkout. That's davidpakman.com/cheese, and use the code 20PAKMAN for 20% off.